Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Today is Monday evening and that is Ask Sumit time. And before we jump into your questions and our answers, we're going to first take a look at the events of the day, especially of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal trying to sell his own ministers in order to save his skin. Is that what is going on? Let's find out. Let's welcome Sumit Ji. Sumit Ji, Namaskar, Ram Ram, Radhe Sham. How are you?
Sri sir, 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙪 𝗢𝙗, Radhe Radhe. All fine and great by the grace of Lord Mahakal and your Ashirwad, sir.
So, Sumit Ji, you must be really in the middle of a lot of things. You live in Delhi and this Delhi's Natwarlal is up to his Natwar tricks. He's trying to sell a couple of his ministers down the river in order to save himself. Looks like. What is happening, sir?
Sir, there was a song in Bunty Bubbly. ऐसा कोई नहीं जिसको ठगा नहीं, ऐसा कोई सगा नहीं जिसको ठगा नहीं. So that song literally fits here. Now what we are coming to know, there are three important developments today, sir. First thing is that Mr. Kejriwal is into, I don't know, is it jail or judicial custody after 15th of April. So 15 days he will be cooling his heels. Now he has asked for 3 books. One is Bhagwat Gita, one is Ramayana, and one book from Nirja Chaudhary. She's a journalist. She has written a book. Usually it is believed that the people who read this want to become PM and all. I don't know what does he want to become a PM, but there are some inclinations. So I'm flabbergasted to know that Arvind Kejriwal is now reading Mahabharata and Ramayana. That is why he didn't go to Bhagwan Sri Ram's Pran Pratishtha. He has not read Ramayana. He doesn't know what is in the Ramayana. That is where it comes from. But he's talking of the Ramaraj, he's talking of all the Bhagwan Sri Ram, he's quoting Mahabharata. So that means it was all speech written by somebody, right? And versus Mrs. Kejriwal was saying this all speech written by somebody. I can't say at this age, I want to read Ramayana and Mahabharata. That means whatever I've been talking so far is all BS. That's point number 1. Now when he was sent to the jail, I think it's jail now. Mrs. Kejriwal is saying, Arey, what happened? Arvind ji was such a patriot, is a Deshbhakt. When no case is proved against him, why are they sending him to a jail? Arey, madam, I want to, with due respects, ma'am, it is only that remand which has been extended, and beyond a point when the remand is extended here, they have to send him to the jail. They can't keep him in an ED guest house or in an ED, whatever, hold up, whatever you want it. Now he's in jail and he says that there's no evidence. How did she conclude there is no evidence? How do you conclude the case is settled? Now, what I was telling you all along, that Mr. Kejriwal is trying to build a notion that I will be out soon. And I was telling you, sir, he is not going to be out soon. He's going to be out in there for a pretty long time. And that is one thing which happened. And she was trying to spin the whole narrative and all. Oh, bahut bura hua and all that. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is, but we have to take the clue to yesterday. Yesterday, there was an ND Alliance meeting, sir, in Delhi. And all the players were here. And some of the players were really, and I liked a couple of things. I liked the song of तेजस्वी यादव. वो कुली का गाना था, कौन सा था वो? तुम तो धोखेबाज हो, बार बार दिल चुराते हो. And then the brilliant piece I liked was of Farooq Abdullah, Mehbooba Mufti. But the brilliant piece came from Mrs. Kejriwal. If you read through that speech, Kejriwal ji ne jail se aapke liye sandesha bheja. Till yesterday he was in the custody. He was not in jail. What we sadly say, don't say too much. Yaar, at times Mata Saraswati sits on your tongue and whatever you say comes true. So today finally he's gone to the jail. So that is the good news. So Mrs. Kejriwal asked for it yesterday, na? Jail. So jail ho gaya. This is what happened. Now point number 1, she is saying, if you read through that speech, there are 3 things which are important. The first thing she says, he's trying to address 140 crore people. To best of my knowledge, I think Kejriwal ji was fighting for 5-7 seats of Delhi. So when you address 140 crore log, you are becoming Modi. You are becoming Modi because Modi can say, or Rahul Gandhi may say, I'm addressing 140 crore people because they are fighting a nationwide election. So how is Kejriwal addressing 140 crore people? You see how his wife has smartly used to trick India Alliance, use their strategy against them. So in a way, the competitor of Rahul Gandhi in ND Alliance is Kejriwal or Mrs. Kejriwal. So welcome to the story. And who gave them the stage? The stage was given to them by India Alliance. Who was sitting next to Mrs. Kejriwal? Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. And who was the person on the right is our Shriman Rahul Gandhi, even some people call him Pappu. You see how beautifully she hijacked the stage. Then she said, I want to give 6 promises. One is Mohalla clinic in every village, free education, free hospital. And all the 6 promises were a typical Aam Aadmi Party manifesto. So she used the stage to run Aam Aadmi Party manifesto across the nation. Now the question will be, what is wrong in that? The wrong is only that when she says in the end, Arvind ji ne kaha, Mr. Arvind ji has told you, sorry. And yes, one of the 6 things was full statehood for Delhi. Oh my God. I hope and pray that never happens. If that happens one day, these all parliamentarians, these all MPs and all may be even put on a house arrest, and Delhi police might come and start arresting the cabinet ministers. It might happen one day if this Delhi is a full state. In fact, in 2025, whatever the special powers, what that legislation which gives some powers to Delhi, that has to be, they have to get rid of it. They have to take it back to 30 years time, because you cannot have a person like Kejriwal in Delhi and then he can call his shots and it can be an absolute national security threat. Then she says one thing very beautifully, which I liked. Then Mrs. Kejriwal said, अरविंद जी ने कहा है कि मुझे आपसे ये अनुमति लेने का मौका नहीं मिला, मैं दिल्ली में, मैं जेल में हूं और मैं उम्मीद करता हूं आप मुझसे एग्री करेंगे. What she's saying that I could not get the consensus and I could not get the consent from you guys for these 6 points, because I am in jail. Now I believe in the true friendship and in brotherhood, you will agree to all the 6 points. So even the 6 points which were told by Mrs. Kejriwal were never discussed, were never even deliberated, were not even, there was nobody's agreement. Everybody was, what happened? Mohalla clinic in every village. Imagine, Mohalla clinic in every village. Free education, free bijli, the same things, which have not won him any action. He wanted to take it across. I am free from state out to Delhi, and as I could not take your consent, I hope you will all agree to me. I was imagining Rahul Gandhi and all the netas standing there. You got tricked in a real time. You got tricked on a real time event. In your show, in your event, in your stage, somebody comes and whacks you out. And that is what Mrs. Kejriwal did. But she's good. I like her on that. So, this talks about the divisions within the ND alliance. Now, today, the news of the grapevine is so many leaders are fuming. Fuming. What the hell happened? Who approved this? What did you do this? Now, people are even questioning Sonia Gandhi. Why were you sitting next to her? Why were you legitimizing her as a leader? Why were you legitimizing her? And Rahul Gandhi made a second competitor. So now that is yesterday. Now come today. So today the story continues. For all the people, all the India, there is no allegation and all that. Now the important revelation which has come today, when ED has started questioning and cross-questioning Kejriwal, Vijay Nair, the person in between, what did he say? He says, I don't interact with Vijay Nair. Vijay Nair reports to 𝗤𝙗𝙗 Marilina and Raghav Chaddha were talking to him, and Saurabh Bharadwaj were talking to him. Now, you see how 𝗤𝙗𝙗 stars are getting dwindled. 𝗤𝙗𝙗, ED has already said 100 crores for proceeds of crime, 45 crores went to Goa. And Goa MLAs or the MLA candidates said, yes sir, we got the money, and 𝗤𝙗𝙗 was in charge. So she has one problem there. Now there is another problem which we can't talk in the public, but I've been hinting at that there is another problem. The people who can get the hint, let them get the hint. I've been talking about it on all the show.
What is the hint, Sirji?
Sir, hint is about some relatives.
Oh yeah. You told us about that yesterday. Yeah. Maybe you can have we can have another short session where we just give a little bit more about the hint. And
correct. So it's about the relatives who are about to get in trouble because of this scam. That is point number 2. Point number 3, now Mr. Kejriwal has thrown her under the bus. Vijay Nair was talking to her. Now who is Vijay Nair? Vijay Nair has already become an approver. Now Vijay Nair was dealing with whom? 𝗤𝙗𝙗 Marilina and Saurabh Bharadwaj. Now I told you yesterday, Saurabh Bharadwaj is very paranoid. He says, sir, what have I got, sir? I am getting nothing. Now 𝗤𝙗𝙗 Marilina, you see how smart Kejriwal is. He used his wife. His wife gives those 5 minutes briefings. Now with these 5 minutes briefings, the national media covers her. So in a way, he's using the free national media to position her as the CM of Delhi. 𝗤𝙗𝙗 was trying to, do all the song and dance, was trying to, do what the tamasha in front of TV cameras, lie down on the street and all. But unfortunately, 𝗤𝙗𝙗 Bahanji, you're not going to get anything. Because Mrs. Kejriwal doesn't like you and Kejriwal doesn't trust you. Now to settle you permanently, because you and Saurabh Bharadwaj were Hindi mein kehte na, wo fudak rahe the. You were those frogs on a hot tin shed. So how did he settle you? He told ED, these were the people whom Vijay Nair was reporting to. Now ED is definitely going to ask you. So this is how you throw your people under the bus. And what is I done by throwing them under the bus? He has cleared the way for Mrs. Kejriwal to become the CM. Look, where is all the positioning going? If you join the dots of what I've been trying to, it is goes to one person. This is Sunita Kejriwal as the next Chief Minister of Delhi. And if you look at the statement which the ex-PRO of 𝗤𝙗𝗫 jail has said today, he said, look, the CMO cannot be run from 𝗤𝙗𝗫 jail. It doesn't have infrastructure, it doesn't have the facilities, we have a jammers and all, we can't run it from there. So looking at the things and looking at the, Kejriwal in jail and all, so Sunita ji is the next CM of Delhi. So Atishi and Saurabh were the two contenders. So Kejriwal got them out. And one person who is missing in the action completely is Shriman Raghav Chaddha ji. He is busy with the physiotherapy of the eye. I told you, sir, he will not come. Yesterday, there was such a big ND Alliance meeting. Bhai, you could have come via Zoom call, via Facebook Live, via Twitter Live, via hundreds, even a WhatsApp Live would do. Bhai, what you got somebody's WhatsApp number and address the media. No interaction from Raghav Chaddha. No video release from Raghav Chaddha. Raghav Chaddha has disappeared. Now you can see. So Raghav Chaddha is out. Nikal gaye. Saurabh and Atishi were on the ground. Kejriwal ji ne arrangement kar diya, has taken out them. So the road is clean for Mrs. Kejriwal. So Kejriwal is throwing his people under the bus. I think Raghav was smart to leave for London. And as I told you, he's not going to come from London. Why was Raghav Chaddha missing yesterday? Why Raghav Chaddha doesn't utter a word? Why doesn't he do an interview, a Facebook Live, a Twitter Live, Zoom Live, record a video and put it on the social media? Nothing, because what they say in US, whatever you say and do can be used against you in a court of law. You have an option to keep quiet or say whatever you want to say. So I think he likes Hollywood movies. He has liked that movie, and some of his lawyers have advised him. Because if you say something, even Kejriwal might take your name tomorrow. Bhaiya, Raghav Chaddha tha. He is the one who is there. So like this, you can imagine the paranoia in the camp. Yes, sir.
Raghav Chaddha was supposed to have married Arvind Kejriwal's daughter.
There was some talk like that, and I think something Raghav Chaddha realized that if Sarji, the way he's going, and if he is caught when the law catches up with him, if I'm related to him, my entire life is gone. I'll spend entire life in jails or fighting cases. So what he did, he said,
so go and shack up with Dawood gang. That's what he did now.
Now, basically, if you look at India,
Yes, Bollywood connection is what? Bollywood connection is what?
I'll tell you, sir. Bollywood connection has three parts. Here in India, there's a very clear nexus between cricketers, politicians, and Bollywood. There's a very clear nexus. You see, cricketers are marrying politicians, cricketers, and or Bollywood. Bollywood marries cricketers. It's a very clear connection. Anybody can see that. You look at all the marriages, they're all related, because when the Lagan does 100 crores here or 900 crores in China or a dangal, so this magic happens. So now the money has to come back, the things have to happen. How will you do it?
Even I heard Pathan was all a manufactured hit.
Pathan did some 200-300 crores here. I think rest of the money was out of India.
Anyway, so a lot of interesting. Bring it in, sir, and then we'll go to Q&A. Sorry, go ahead.
So lot of nexus works like this. So with Bollywood, you have also one advantage. I think my phone is ringing. With Bollywood, you have also one advantage. With Bollywood, you have also one advantage. The Bollywood you have, it's not my phone, somebody else's phone, which I don't know how to shut down. Now, with Bollywood, you have one more advantage. The thing is, when you are married with a Bollywood celebrity, your PR value goes high. If the law of the land catches up with you, you get a lot of media coverage. So to get that free media coverage and to become that bechara, so marrying a Bollywood person or a cricketer is not a bad idea, right? Ki dekho ji kya kar diya. So you become a mass hero. And remember, there was one thing about Raghav Chaddha where he was wearing that 1 lakh rupee ka sweater, some polo sweater costing around 1 lakh of rupees. So when you are married to Bollywood, sir, it's a lot of money, and the amount of money which was spent on the marriage and all, those as a personal affair. But I think ED guys would have watched everything. I think ED, smart people in ED, they would have watched everything. Where is the money coming from? because as per his declared assets, he cannot afford that marriage. His declared assets some 35 lakh rupees, if I remember it correctly. So how did he afford that marriage?
So something very interesting happened in the Canadian Parliament. Guys, I have to take you to Canada and then bring us back to this one. What has happened is, there is a company of 4 software engineers, and you know the amount of contracts they got? $15 million. $15 million. So the leader of opposition, Pierre, is really good. And he says, WTF? How the heck did they get paid so much? So the speaker says, no, you cannot use words like WTF. This is a very, this is a parliament. You cannot use unparliamentary language. So please explain what WTF means. And this guy says, where are the funds?
That's a good one. Perfect. It's a new one.
So, yeah, chaliye, let's take some questions now. So please finish up and then we'll go to Qs.
So our assumption about Raghav Chaddha was right. Raghav Chaddha was completely out of the radar yesterday. And incidentally, I have been on a couple of debates with Raghav Chaddha. And so what I can tell you about him, he can defend things to some good extent. But knowing his personality type, why is he hiding? I think he's scared that if whatever way he goes, he might be again thrown under the bus. So he's thinking like, let me keep away and, let others take the heat. Now you can imagine the amount of mistrust which is in AAP. You can imagine the amount of friction which is in AAP. And now the question people will ask me, why is 𝗤𝙗𝙗 and Saurabh Bharadwaj still supporting Mrs. Kejriwal? What is the option you got? I'm very sure 𝗤𝙗𝙗 at that point of time was holding no tenure. At that point of time, he would have made you sign some documents. At that point of time, no documents will be under scrutiny. So if you mess more with him, he's going to put you under a bigger bus. That is why. So, a cycle is okay than a, that 24 wheel trawler. So you decide, you want to come under a car or a 24-wheeler trawler. So that is why there was also, we read somewhere today that even the LG Saab questioned him, hey, how come are you sending things for my approval without signature of the CM? That's not legal. And that is exactly the time when this scam was happening. So that point of time, 𝗤𝙗𝙗 had no portfolio. He was not signing anything. अब जिन्होंने भी साइन किया वो सारे जेल में हैं, and जिन्होंने साइन कुछ नहीं है तो वो अंदर जाएंगे. Imagine the plight of our dear sister 𝗤𝙗𝑚 Marlina, our brother Saurabh Bharadwaj. What a painful life they must be, leading. We did everything for him, and this is what he did for us. And when it comes to making the CM, it is Mrs. Kejriwal. As simple as that. Right, sir? Let's go to questions.
So now I understand why they have jhadu for a symbol. Throw anyone under the bus, use the jhadu, sweep it away. Maidan saaf hai.
It's a classical party, where koi bhi sagani jisko thagani is the line which is most apt for him.
Let's go to questions, please. First question from Magnet Ranga. Jai Shri Ram. In the whole issue of liquor scam, there doesn't seem to be any action against the liquor dealers. Aren't they responsible too?
Ranga said they will also be happen. This will also happen, but you have to get the bigger fish first. You have to establish the scam. Then there are low-level operators. What you can hold them responsible for is for business impropriety, not doing the ethics. But here, the things are bigger. Using money for election, twisting the policies, misusing the government machinery. And that Pannun link is also there. So at a chief minister's level, if you're doing this, it's a much bigger crime in the quantum of law rather than you're bribing somebody to get a favor. That might be a smaller crime. But here what you're doing is you're doing a full-fledged scam. And you are using the government machinery and power to create that scam. That is where the problem is.
Akash Meher 84 wants to know, Sumitji, what Marx-Lenina going to say tomorrow? This is Marlena, that is supposed to be her name. That's a mixture of Marx and Lenin. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, taken from Marx. No, she has no options. She has to play the game. And it's a matter of time. I'm telling you, the ED is catching up to her. Within the next 7-10 days, you will see that she is questioned or arrested or something. Don't be surprised. This, I can tell you one thing for sure. This is bound to happen. This is bound to happen unless and until she is smart enough to turn a approver, or she has some of the things which 𝗤𝘃 doesn't have against her. And then she reaches the right people and gives those things, then something milder might happen to her, or a delayed action might happen to her. But if she doesn't do anything in the next 5-7 days, you know who is the next.
Next one, please. Venkatraman Iyer wants to know, SK yesterday announced 6 AK guarantees. That is, Sunita Kejriwal announced 6 AK guarantees and then informed DOT Alliance members that he has not informed them in advance. Who will implement these, even considering them to coming to power? Your views, please.
That is what I was telling you. It was a pitch. She was projecting herself as the CM of Delhi and her husband as a prime ministerial candidate, because that's only when you need to talk of 140 crore log. You are not fighting for 140 crore log. You are fighting for Delhi. Nobody knows you beyond Delhi. So what are you talking? You have one Lok Sabha MP, if I'm not wrong, today. So what are you talking about 140 crore log? So this agenda, what I said in the earlier Iyer sir, this was completely hijacked by Mrs. Kejriwal, and people on those who were present, they're fuming now. And there was also one Mr. 𝗼𝙬𝗻𝗁 O'Brien. He was addressing the people in Ramlila Maidan in English. Do you believe this? English mein baat kar rahe the. There were people in the Ramlila Maidan sting. You know who are the people and where do they come from? Most of them are Karyakartas who are flown in buses and all and made to stay there. Now, he was addressing them in English. So, and when I saw it, lost only 8% people speak English as a first language. Only 12% people in India can speak English still. So that is the beauty of the ND alliance. This is how beautiful their leaders are and how they are going to win the election. And of course, Mrs. Kejriwal hijacked the show. She used everything to her opportunity. And even I'm telling you today, the media is blamed by Kejriwal. And Mrs. Kejriwal is really, orchestrating it to the precision. I think they had thought about this plan. Okay, if this happens, what is our next move going to be? And I have seen her talk before a couple of years, and if I see her talking today, I think she has practiced speech, she has practiced talking skills, she has practiced public skills. And again, the image is same. They live in that 50 crore mansion, 100 crore mansion. But again, the dressing sense and all is the same. It has not changed. Those very small things. And unfortunately, Mrs. Kejriwal doesn't carry a Renault pen. So that is the only benchmark which she is not having. Maybe she has one. So
see, if he is not going to sign anything, why carry a Renault pen?
Just to say, अच्छा लगता है ना इसे पेन लगा हुआ. At 5 रुपए का pen. It has to be a 5 रुपए का pen. It's not about the pen. It has to be a 5 रुपए का pen.
It's a white body blue cap, right? White body blue cap.
It talks about the simplicity of the man. Simplicity of the man who has done thousands of crores of scam, lives in a 100 crore mansion. That is how simple the man is.
I feel sad for Derek O'Brien. If he speaks in Hindi, Didi won't like it. If he speaks in Bengali, audience won't like it. So go to English in between.
I was imagining Derek Saab was speaking English. I said, sir, bhaiya, kya kar rahe ho bhai? Ye Delhi hai. You have to speak, and these are your karyakartas. Supposedly, allegedly. I don't know what are they going to understand.
I'm sure if Stalin had attended, then he would have been suffering from gale mein kharash, so that he doesn't have to say anything.
He sent his representative. He spoke for 2 minutes. I think Stalin sent one of the representatives from DMK. He spoke for less than 2 minutes and said, okay, bye. Ho gaya aaj ka.
Akash Mihir 84 wants to know, what will happen to poor Swati Maliwal?
She's in London, sir. She's in UK. She's busy there. Why do you want her to come here? She's busy there. Let her be there. All the smart people who understand Kejriwal have already flown to London.
Akash Mihir, you should read the story in PGurus about what happened in a guest house in Thiruvananthapuram. I hope you have. That is one of those all-time bestseller, best read stories on pgurus.com. Anyway, so Ajit George wants to know, sir, why are you not taking Kerala issues? What is there to take, Ajit George? You guys are busy cross-voting. Tell me, how can anybody win the election there? You have to be in this alliance or in that alliance. How can you even break the alliance? Anyway, this is my 2 cents. Over to you, Sirji.
No, Ajitji, you see, the thing is that there are issues in Kerala. But do you understand the kind of threats this regime is posing to your lives, your future generations, and the security of India? The day you understand that, and the day we see something on the ground, I'm very sure we'll be more than willing to take. Today, we don't see a lot of hope. We see a divided camp, and we see still the people are okay with communism. That is where the problem is. You're okay with the PFI being there. You're okay with a lot of things, gold smuggling happening. You're okay with a lot of things which are happening there, which should not happen there. And unfortunately, some of the things only happen in Kerala, sir. So we are not seeing that groundswell where the people want the change. We are catalysts of change. We cannot bring the change. Change can be brought by Prime Minister Modi or Amit Shah. But we are catalysts of change. We can only act if we see there's a groundswell. If there's no groundswell, you put if I get a teaspoon of curd and put it in milk, it will become yogurt. I have one 𝗏𝗫𝗐, one cup. I have this cup full of curd and put it in water. What will happen? Nothing. So let there be milk, then the curd will do the job.
Ajitji, you know the reality, right? If NIA has to arrest someone in Kerala, they have to bring police force also. They can't trust the local police force. That's how bad it is.
CRPF has to be brought in.
Yeah. Next one, please. Magnet Ranga wants to know, Jai Sri Ram, latest reports are saying that Kejriwal has named Atishi and Bharadwaj. If memory serves me right, you had said Atishi will be in trouble. You were absolutely right.
We discussed that, sir. So, because they were the two possible roadblocks in the way of Mrs. Kejriwal. So, how to get rid of these roadblocks? At least keep their name. The moment their name is there, now Atishi cannot become the CM. Saurabh Bharadwaj cannot become. Why were they running from pillar to post? They were running from pillar to post in the hope that there's a chance today they can become the CM, but not. And even what I want to caution our good friend, Shriman Bhagwant Manji, sir, even your name might come up somewhere. Because when Kejriwal ji is desperate, he will take anybody's name. So Bhagwant Manji would request you to kindly consider all these options. Because ऐसा कोई सगा नहीं जिसको हमने ठगा नहीं.
Gundi made a funny wants to know, will the crew of Daly cargo ship be charged by the USA? Funny, I'll give you an update if possible today. I have the information. I just haven't had time to record it. There are some things going on there, and I'll give you an update on that one. Sir, would you like to add?
I think no, because this was excellent, and I think even Joe Biden and the mayor there and all have applauded the crew for the heroic act they have done. So I don't think there should be any really charged by US, because it's excellent, and by their good deeds and their timely informing the authorities and all, a big disaster has been kind of averted. So I don't think, looking at that, and when the President of the United States of America is really appreciating what you have done, I don't think so they should be charged. That's my opinion.
There is a sabotage angle that is being looked at, and there is some precedence for that. So I'll give you all the data, Funny. Next one. Ananthanarayanan Venkateshan wants to know, Namaste, what will be the position of Punjab, Bhagwant Mann and AAP? Are we looking at political coup?
I think Bhagwant Manji is a smart player. He's looking at the situation. He's seeing how the things are shaping up. Don't be surprised one day Bhagwant Mann will take a U-turn. Because look, nobody wants to be a part of the Titanic. Titanic had all the beauty, all the grandeur and all those elegance. But Titanic is also sinking. You will be with Titanic for some time just to show the support. But eventually, what I can tell you, Anandji, that with passing day, you will see more and more people leaving the ship. That's going to happen. One or two more extensions, people will leave the ship. And after election, results are declared, you will see everybody abandoning Kejriwal. They'll leave him like, it's like when you have Holi, what do you do with the old clothes? The colors with color. You just...
Next one. Ruben Loganathan wants to know, Sumitji, if Delhi government is dismissed by Lieutenant Governor, will the Supreme Court intervene and reinstate the Delhi government?
Look, there's one technical point here, sir. LG cannot dismiss the government. LG can only say, you cannot be the chief minister from a prison. I have, last episode we discussed, one of these episodes we discussed that. There was a PIL fine. In the PIL, the Honorable Court has said that, look, there is no set rule or precedence in the law which tells the court that a person cannot be a CM running from the jail. It is for the executive to decide. Who is the executive in this case? It's the Lieutenant Governor and the higher scale of command, right? Higher chain of command. Now, if the Honorable Court in his wisdom has already said it's for the executive to decide, that executive decides Mr. Kejriwal cannot be a CM and cannot be in jail. So he already has an alternate, that is Mrs. Sunita Kejriwal. Now, LG must have grounds to dismiss the government. You cannot dismiss the government on that. And secondly, when the Honorable Courts have already said it is the power of the executive to decide, so even if they go to the Honorable Supreme Court, I don't think the case will hold water, because that is what the law says. Law says executive has the power to decide whether this government should continue or whether this government should go. So it's very plain and simple.
Next one, please. Kannan wants to know, liquor case is now moving. What about the Pannun funding Kujli? NIA must come into play for that.
I think we have done a lot of videos. We have done a lot of talking on that. And I've been pretty vocal on that. And I think after our thing on the mainstream media, some people picked it after 48 hours. And there was a lot of pressure created by the digital media, so mainstream media picked it up. It's very simple. This allegation needs to be investigated. And if it has a speck of truth in it, then UAPA or NSA should be imposed on Mr. Kejriwal. And all the people who have been involved in this, including Atishi, whoever is involved. Because now you are talking of taking money from Break India forces. You are talking of taking money from ISI, from Deep State, from the cabal. And that money is only given to you for Break India mission, nothing else, for causing mayhem here, for literally causing anarchy here. So if this is happening, this has to be called off.
Next question, please. Thank you, Rishabh Gautam. Kisi taraf se to bada war coming, heavy indications?
Rishabhji, what I can tell you, if you are watching our China series, I've been indicated a lot of things there. A ninja regiment being literally prepared with bows, arrows, bala, farsa, everything. We're moving 10,000 forces there. China is printing dollars. China is printing yuan. China is printing fake dollars. A fake yuan container was kind of confiscated 2-3 days back in Mongolia, and China has, got that news covered up. We are seeing some movements in Pakistan which are disturbing. We even have a fear of ISIS cadre which has infiltrated India. So till the time the 4th June doesn't happen, we can expect anything to happen. And when it comes to Pakistan and China, I don't trust both equally. It's not China is better. I don't trust both equally. I'm worried about this cadre which is believed to have infiltrated India. Though I think we must be tracking them, we'll eliminate them. But let's pray to God nothing untoward happens. Remember, ISIS Khorasan has given us lone wolf attack warnings. Lone wolf attack is something which happened in a church. You remember, there was a crazy guy who went in and put an IED in a church in Kerala a couple of months back. So these kind of things are dangerous and are difficult to handle and dangerous to handle, both.
Next one, please. Thank you, thought provocateur. आत्मा भटक रही है, शरीर की क्या काम? सरजी समाधि लो.
that thing, when I heard that कि मेरा शरीर है, आत्मा आपके पास है, आप आसपास देखो, आप उसको महसूस करो. I was like, shit, यार, is Kejriwal sitting here? Can you imagine in this room you're sitting next to Kejriwal? अरे बाबा, I was scared. I said, Kejriwal जी के पास कौन सा जादुई ताकत आ गई? And his atma can be simultaneously present in millions of homes and in millions of rooms. I was scared, son. मैं तो बोला, I told my wife, यार वो जलाओ, कपूरा जलाओ. We burn the camphor or samrani. I said, burn a samrani cup or camphor because I don't want somebody near to me.
Next one, please. Thank you, Jyotishmati ji, for your wonderful gift. Vijay Kumar Srivastava ji पूछ रहे हैं, sorry, question: Can INDI alliance kick out AAP from the corrupt alliance? Namaste.
No, sir, that is not going to happen, because if you start kicking people on corruption, you have to kick everybody. The first to go will be Congress. Then who is left there who doesn't have corruption? This is the alliance of corrupt, Parivarvadi, that is dynastic politics, and regional positive politics, who lives on the fissures and fissures of the society. You create those divides in the society and you survive by that. These are all people are like that. Keep the sheep calling the cattle black. It's as simple as that. Who's not corrupt there? Name a party who is a part of the alliance is not corrupt there. Sab khiladi hai. Ek numbri, dusra 10 numbri. There was one video which was doing a wonderful video on social media. Maybe next I will show that. So this is how the alliance is. This corruption and all. You see, what is the respect Mrs. Soren and Mrs. Kejriwal was getting on the stage, as if their husbands have been the greatest warriors or the patriots of the country, or they have got the highest civilian honors of the country. It's like, those stalwarts of the country who laid down their life and protecting the country. And in our country, these people don't get so much of respect. That was the kind of respect given to them. And everybody was talking of Hemant Soren and Kejriwal. And Farooq Abdullah Saab said, when our government will come, they will be released immediately. I said, yes, like you have released terrorists in J&K when your government came. So there's a similarity here between Farooq Abdullah's thought process.
Next one, please. Chetan Natekar, thank you so much. Sumit ji, news has just come in that Israel has hit Iranian embassy in Syria. Does this mean escalation in the Middle East?
I have not seen the news, sir, because I've been live for last 2-3 hours on programs. If the news has come, definitely it's escalation, because if Iranian embassy is hit, you hit Khomeini on the tuck, like this, on the nose. Now let's say how Khomeini can respond. I think I have been always telling you that this war is not good. Look at my videos since last few months. This war is going to escalate, and one day there will be something which will happen, which will just pick up this war, and then everybody will get involved like mad. If you have a controlled war, the collateral damage is controlled. If the war erupts all of a sudden and people start jumping in, then the collateral damage is very high. Because you see, for Israel, it's a question of survival. Let's assume that, let's think for a while, God forbid, I would say, next time Hamas sends a cadre of 20,000 men, they will eliminate half of the Israel before they eliminate it. So Israel, it's a question of survival. It's not a question of what you and me think, what we think of. And then there's one facade which is being always told. I was reading somewhere, they said, 30,000 people are killed in Gaza. These many are females, these many are children. Even my heart goes out for them. People should not have been killed. But the problem is that Hamas is elected from Gaza. All the fighters come from Gaza, from these families only. And all the people who were dancing on the streets when the Israelis were killed, when their women were raped, were these people. All the people who were offering namaz-e-shukrana on the streets were these people. And let me tell you, maybe 13,000 children are killed. My heart goes out. They should not have happened. But let me remind you, all the Muslim world talks about that, tom-toms about that. But what about in Yemen? 170,000 or 275,000 kids are killed. Because their Muslims are killing each other, it's not a problem. So you must say that Jews are killing Muslims. That is where the problem is. Why nobody is talking about the 177,000 or 275,000 children killed in Yemen so far? Why you are always talking about 30,000 Palestinians killed by Israel here? Because it is Jews killing them. But you see the double standard. Their Muslims are killing Muslims. And the number is 10, 15, 20 times. You would have not heard a word. Including your good friend 𝗤𝚑𝚑 will not talk a word. 𝗤𝚑𝚑 was giving a lot of emotional speech today on Israel and all. And he even went to Mukhtar Abbas's Ansari's home for condolences.
Vote ke liye kuch bhi karega. Next one. Sree Suyash wants to know, any possibility that Raghav Chaddha received any tip-off from some insider in agency? How come he smelled the coffee? His timing of leaving India is very suspicious.
It's very simple, Srishti ji. The day Enforcement Directorate issued a summon to Kejriwal on jail board. Who was the chairman of the jail board or deputy chairman? Raghav Chaddha. So Raghav Chaddha knew something is on the cards. Next day morning, he's up to going to London. We had covered that. We even had a shot made on that, especially to highlight new people that Chaddha ji to nikal gaye London. Chaddha ji went to London for a eye surgery, and it has been 2 weeks since the surgery is going on. Now he's the physiotherapy of the eye. The physiotherapy of the eye, you know what is? You have to blink eye 3 times a day. Then tomorrow 3 times a day, and it will continue for 1 year. By the time you have not completed 1 million blinks, your physiotherapy is not over. So you can imagine the amount of years it will take. So this is the physiotherapy of the eye. This is a new remedy which has come in the revolutionary medical science, and Mr. Chaddha is going through that. Must be a very complicated eye problem.
Sarji, you start answering the next question, and I'll get that 1 minute shots for us. So just go ahead and answer the next question.
Sumitji, do you think India should step in role as a global peacekeeping, have more of its mediating agencies? You see, Shankarji, my opinion on that is, you see, India has to look where its interests are. That is what the present government is doing. We don't have to be policemen of the world. We don't have to be in that hallucination like non-aligned movement or non-aligned movement, and we don't have to become the Chacha Nehru's, young Turks and all. We have to see where our interests are, where our friends are, where our interests are, where our allies are. Yes, between friends, interests, and allies, if there is an enhanced role, what India must do, India must do. Like if you look at today, if you look at brokering, doing a peace deal between Ukrainians and Russians, where G20, G7, United Nations, UNSC, everybody has failed, they are looking to Prime Minister Modi to do it, which is good because Russia is our friend and interest of Russia is our interest. Even Ukrainians are not our enemies. But for example, if our Pakistanis are fighting Afghanistanis, why should India intervene? Why should we be the peacekeeper? Fight. Keep on fighting. Keep on fighting. Keep on killing each other. No problem. Tomorrow, and Pakistan decides to fight Iran. What is our role there? Well, that's no role there. Pakistan decides to fight Armenia or Nigeria. Because in the world, Muslims are fighting each other more than anybody else. And Muslims are killing each other more than anybody else. So India doesn't have a role there. Unless and until our friends' interests or allies are concerned, we should not be bothered, sir. That is my limited take on this. And this is what I would want to say. We'll go to the next question, Sachin bhai. Why can't Jam Admi be disqualified by 𝗖𝗖𝗀𝗀𝗃 PFI?
PFI, like PFI.
Oh, no. Do you see, if you look at the legal connotations, Aam Aadmi Party and all is a political party. But if these links with Pannun, Khalistani funding, and some other, if they have links with some other Western intelligence agencies or the Kamal are established, then definitely a different set of laws will kick in, and as per that different set of laws, then the action will be taken against him. And let's not forget, sir, Mr. 𝗏𝗏 Provocator-ji, that from 1st June, the new laws which we have implemented, taking out IPC, will be in place. Under new laws, there will be new provisions which we are not fully aware today, but once the laws come into picture, we'll have more clarity on what those are. That definitely gives law and order machinery more teeth to handle such nefarious characters.
We have the shots now ready. Let's have the shots, please.
अरविंद केजरीवाल जेल में, मनीष सिसोदिया जेल में, सत्येंद्र जैन जी जेल में, अमादुल्लाह खान जेल में, राघव चड्ढा जी सीधा लंदन में। अब दिल्ली में शासन प्रशासन कौन चलाएगा? क्या शासन प्रशासन जेल से चलेगा? क्या चीफ मिनिस्टर्स ऑफिस जेल में शिफ्ट होगा? ये कट्टर ईमानदार पार्टी के कट्टर ईमानदार नेता, कट्टर ईमानदारी की सर्टिफिकेट बांटने वाले इतने बड़े जेल में कहां से पहुंच गए? और सबके सब जेल में पहुंच गए। अपनी ही प्रदेश में, अपनी ही जेल में अपना ही मुख्य मंत्रालय चलाएंगे क्या? भाई वहां जाके ये तो देख लो, इंटरनेट चल रहा है, एसी चल रहा है, सब व्यवस्था है। सीएम साहब आखिर जेल से मंत्रालय चलाएंगे? ऐसा भारत में पहले नहीं होता था, अब होगा। तो ये क्या विडंबना है? ये ईमानदार पार्टी वाले लोग और उनका कैबिनेट जेल कैसे पहुंच रहे हैं? कविता जी ने ऐसा क्या कह दिया कि केजरीवाल जी को टाइम ही नहीं लगा जेल जाने में? राधे राधे। So Raghav Chaddha ji was the first one to skip. I think he would have already even bought his tickets and all. You remember how did Vijay Mallya just one day got into a jet airline flight? He bought a business class ticket. He came with 2 or 3 suitcases and he never came back. Because these people have a plan B ready. So it's like exactly, if you see the pattern, it's like Vijay Mallya. Exactly Vijay Mallya.
Very true, very true. Next question, please. 𝗤𝙬𝗍𝗘 Venkatraman wants to know, Namaste to Sumit ji, is the arrest of AKA help BJP in a big way in New Delhi and Punjab?
I think this has set the minds rolling. There are some core voters of AAP who are sympathetic towards the Kejriwal. But a lot of people are now seeing that bhai dal mein kuch kala hai. You know, the first thing which comes to your mind is when there's a doubt. When there's a doubt come, yeah, what about this? What about this? Now everybody cannot be lying. Now CBI is lying, ED is lying, Supreme Court is lying, High Court is lying, SIT is lying, Kavita is lying, Vijay Nair is lying. Everybody cannot be lying. And the people are not getting bails and Kejriwal is sent to 15 days to jail. That means something is not right. So that something is not right is the thing which is going to break the cult of Kejriwal. And once the cult breaks, cult is like a dam. I don't know, have you seen that, forced and from never on. They are left with a small pack of dynamite. They go into a tunnel and they detonate it. Then they are all like this, nothing happened. Suddenly a drop of water falls. The one who is this expert in this detonation, he's laughing, he's jumping. That's like, hey, what are you happy? What happened? This was just a drop. He says, this is the drop I needed. Rest the time and the quantum of water will do. So that drop is what has, in my opinion, it has touched the ground. Now the time and the pressure within that, or the water within the dam will do the rest. You just need one drop because there's a fissure somewhere through which a drop of water is seized. Now the pressure of the water inside dam is so much, the potential energy of the water is so much, it will break the dam. You just needed that one fissure. So that one fissure has already come, sir. And that is going to be a very, very difficult thing for Kejriwal to handle moving forward.
Next one, please. Sarvani Tumuluri wants to know, I see there is a nexus here. Priyanka Chopra leaving for Hollywood, Ford Foundation funding in AAP, her sister getting married to Raghav Chaddha. She's not a sister, I think she has a niece.
Cousin sister.
Cousin
sister, and going to... You see, Priyanka Chopra left to Hollywood. There's a big story around it. I think it is, we can't discuss it in the open forum, but what I can tell you is there was some problem she got into with Shah Rukh Khan, and there was a deal brokered that you will settle Priyanka in Hollywood and pay X amount of money, and in the return Priyanka will not come here, because after some things which happened, Priyanka was trying to put a lot of conditions and a lot of things to Shah Rukh which she did not like. So it was basically a whatever deal. Then Priyanka got hold of that bacha, what is his name, Nick Jones, married, and she, I think after a couple of years she has come back to India. And if you see, there was not a lot of media buzz about it and all that. So Priyanka had to leave the country because of messing with the wrong people. So that is how Priyanka left. Now Ford Foundation funding up, that can be a reality. That is a reality in all probability. Sister getting married to Raghav Chaddha, you have to understand, ma'am, there is this politician, cricket and Bollywood nexus, which is very, very strong. You see, cricketers are marrying Bollywood, or Bollywood is marrying cricketers or politicians. This is where the marriages are happening mostly. And if you see, a lot of power marriages are happening within that fraternity, even when we talk. The world is not so straightforward, ma'am. Match betting goes into billions of dollars.
Anandi Krishnan wants to know, when will Atishi and Saurabh go to jail?
Well, it will be pretty soon. And by the Ichha of Lord Mahakal, nobody will be spared.
Next one, please. Sree Iyer wants to know. Let's make this the last question, because we have another show, viewers, at 10:30 p.m. IST. We're going to be talking about why the Congress party has no excuses. You have to look at their tax paying record, tax filing record, to understand how many places they made mistakes. We're going to be talking about that at 10:30. Last question here. Srishti wants to know, Sri sir, Bharat's defense exports touching record 21,083 crores for FY 23-24. Is this what is rattling the US? What can we expect if Biden gets second term. आपने मुझसे question पूछ लिया. Sumit ji, you want to take a shot at this?
No, I'll only tell you. Just look at 3 billion. It doesn't matter to US. US will only matter when you start hitting around 30, 40, 50 million. And let me tell you another thing. If you look at US exports, there's one wrong notion here. That in US exports, the defense exports is not even 2%. That's point number 2. Point number 3, defense exports are not to make money. This has to go out of your head or my head or anybody's head. Defense exports is to control geopolitical power. If you can arm your friends and your allies and your strategic interests against their rivals, that enhances your circle of power within those countries, those societies, and those strongholds. So weapons are a very, very good and a potent way to enhance power, and they make money. Money is incidental, but more than money is that, is the power circle, is the power you build within those things. And the people who have the maximum money and power are the people who rule the world. You cannot be a superpower without having the weapon power. I'm very candid. You cannot be, with due respect to Mahatma Buddha, you cannot have a Buddha-like mentality and become a superpower. You can be a spiritual superpower, but you cannot be the superpower what we define in the world today. If you have to be superpower, you have to have weapons. You have the capability to export weapons. You exported weapons to Philippines. You have given weapons to Vietnam. Now you have given weapons to Armenia. India has given weapons to these countries, these 3, 4 major countries, and small, lot of Africa buys weapons from us. But why did we give weapons to Philippines? Because to control China, Vietnam to control China, Armenia to control Azerbaijan and Turkey. So weapons become an important tool in geopolitics. Yes, they make money. That is the secondary. And the more latest weapons have, the bigger the edge you have. So weapons are something, unfortunately, you have to deal and handle in the long run.
Chetan Natekar, thank you so much. Sirji, why is that people with Urdu wood connection always seem to get tipped off and getting welcomed in London?
That's a very interesting question, sir. London, I don't know how much can I talk about it, but I'll tell you 1 or 2 things which I know. You see, London is a mini Pakistan today. London, ISI is very much entrenched into the system. London is a system wherein you can walk with the tons of black money, and the banks and the system and the republic and the laws of the land will all welcome you. London is the place where you have money bags. The banking system runs on that. There's a law of the country will protect you. London is the place where nobody can extradite you. So when these things happen, London is the place where Pakistani Muslims have infiltrated to a great extent. Even other Middle Eastern countries, Muslims have infiltrated to a great, depth. London is a place wherein within the London there are various pockets of influence which are created by various groups. So people with nefarious designs and malicious characters feel safer in such things. Why why these terrorists are always caught in those Muslim ghettos? It's exactly the same thing.
Well, that brings us to a close. Very, very interesting session, episode 3 of Ask Sumit. Viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And also, please weigh in by way of comments. If you have something that you thought you liked about this program, we would love to hear from you. Sumit ji, once again, thank you so much. And we'll be seeing you again tomorrow at 9 p.m. on Hindi channel. Namaskar.
Sree sir, thank you very much. And sadhuvat to all. Bharat Mata ki jai, Vande Mataram, and Har 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 Mahadev. Mahadev.